going on? What's going on, people? This is a video in response to destroy white people, or whatever the fuck that nigga said. First and foremost, I'll have to let y'all know that I'm of multicultural descent, but I am comprised of 70 to 75% African ancestry, and the rest is Caucasian and Native American. But since majority of me is African American, I just claim African American. I mean, my whole life since I was a kid, I was told I was black by everybody I met, including my parents and family members. So fuck it. And with that being said, I totally agree with Dr. Kuma. How can he sit there and say that white people is the cause of all problems when this man calls himself fucking Dr. Kuma, or whatever the fuck his name is? How can he sit here and say that the solution to our problems is to destroy white people when he's on the white man's television network talking shit? I don't understand that. It's a delusional concept, and it seems like he's getting his motivation behind his asinine delusional dreams and shit from some shit he read about the Nation of Islam and how they feel about Caucasian folks. And see, a lot of people don't understand is that people like Dr. Kuma and people like Elijah Muhammad, who pro-black people like that, the reason why they feel how they feel about Caucasian people is because of the track record historically. Europeans, they had a little record of fucking around in places where they never been before and trying to control, and ultimately ending up controlling and conquering by force a lot of places, or if not conquering and controlling, finding a way to influence the people or influence the people who control those people. And that landed them the privilege, or that was sarcasm, by the way. That landed them the privilege of earning the title of devils of the destruction and mayhem with the Nation of Islam and a lot of black supremacists. So that's the reason why probably Dr. Kuma feels the way he does, is because of the fact that most Caucasians, well, let me rephrase what I said. Most negative things in history, like most major wars, genocides, and oppression of people, has been caused by, or historically has been made prominent by, white people from Europe. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that other races of people hasn't killed, murdered, and conquered. It has happened from all races of people. It's just that you don't see, historically, you don't see lands being massacred and controlled by African people or Asian people. Not to the great extent of what the Caucasians have done. Historically, you find that when black people travel the world, and they have traveled the world in ancient times, they've civilized those people. Only record of the land being controlled and conquered was Rome by Hannibal. And the only reason why he even wanted to go to the cold, dark continent of Europe was because of the fact that Rome had conquered his homeland of northern Africa, and he wanted to get it back. That's all. And by the time he was there, him and his Muslim counterparts, his Moorish and black Hebrew Israelite counterparts, gave civilization to Europe. And for those of you who say that Europe was already civilized because of Rome and Greece, that is true. But what they failed to realize and failed to know, that has not been taught in history classes, and it's not being shared in circles around, intellectual circles around the world, is that the great mathematicians and philosophers of Europe at that time and before Hannibal were taught in Egypt. All of the knowledge that they had received was already discovered and already used in Egypt several thousands of years before they even existed. I'm talking about Socrates, Plato, Galileo, Isosceles, all those people. So if it wasn't for my ancestors, there would probably be no digital cameras, computers, or any of that shit, cars, weapons, because we are the mothers and fathers of civilization. That's just how it is. There's archaeological proof behind that. And there's archaeological proof that states that the Caucasian race is the youngest of all the races. And since their existence, there's been a little bit of ruckus and mayhem going on, but now 2010 and on to the next generations and years beyond this, human beings are going to be moving towards a shift of consciousness where all those things of the past will be put behind us, and we're all going to come together in one unified spiritual consciousness. And if you're not hip to the motherfucking program, you won't be included in it. And I feel sorry for those who will not partake in that beautiful gloriousness. All of you dumb motherfuckers who comment, whitey this, nigger that, cracker this, spick that, chink that, y'all ain't a part of that elevated level of consciousness. For all you motherfuckers out there who watch this video and criticize whatever the fuck you point out that you feel is incorrect,